Hello, my name is Lamika McGee, and I'm the CEO and founder of Jane Sante LLC, where I am a career coach and a youth mentor. Thank you for returning to the third installment of our traits series, or our 4 series, which is where we're talking about our 4 different personality traits, our 4 temperament types, and our 4 communication styles. So this is video 3, where we are talking about the 4 communication styles, and we are tying everything in together. So if you missed the other 2 videos, please go back and watch those so you can catch up. Make sure you take those quizzes, take your notes, and then come back to this particular video where we'll tie everything together. All right, so now I want to go ahead and start moving into our topic for today, which is our 4 different communication styles, okay? And so I'm going to run them through with a couple of definitions, and then we'll tie everything together with the personality traits and the temperament types. And we can see how it all meshes together on how communication and knowing how we communicate as supervisors better helps us as well as better helps our employees. All right, so number 1 for the communication style is the controller. Okay, the controller is very direct, they're straightforward, they're blunt, honest, and they don't mince words. Okay, so the controller is a straight shooter. What you see is what you get, what they say is what they mean. All right, number 2 is the promoter. They're enthusiastic and people driven. They're open, honest, friendly. They'll talk to you about their whole entire life. They'll talk to you about their family's lives, your lives. They'll ask you how things are going with you. They're a communicator. They want to talk. They want to promote, okay, themselves and you. All right. Number 3 is the analyzer. They love facts and intricate details. They're organized and they understand all facets of projects, and they receive all facts before making a decision. And they're deep thinkers, they're thoughtful, and they're analytical, okay? And then number 4 is the supporter, okay? The supporter is easily likable, they're low maintenance, they have excellent interpersonal skills, they excel at conflict resolution, they're easygoing, and they're easy to approach. Another way to call these 4, the controller is a mover, the promoter is a planner, the thinker is an analyzer, and the supporter is the connector. Okay, so that's another way to think about them. And so when you think about these 4 different communication styles, try to identify which one you typically fall under. So as always, I like to be transparent in my videos. As a supervisor, I've been a supervisor for over 10 years. I'm an award-winning supervisor, so I have learned a lot. I have seen a lot, and I have learned a lot in regards to my own communication style. And so for me, being honest, I am the analyzer, and I'm also the supporter, okay? I'm the analyzer and I'm the supporter. Whenever my employees bring me particular situations and circumstances where they need me to be able to solve it in a most fair way as possible, I don't just hear one employee's gripes, I hear all of the employees' gripes, so that I'm able to see and pull out what the truth is in each situation, and then be able to come up with the proper solution in a way that I express my communication to them, they understand me, and then I also understand what they're saying to me, okay? And then the supporter, I am excellent at interpersonal skills and conflict resolution. Like, I am the one that, I'm going around to each one of my employees, I'm talking to them, seeing how they're doing, making sure they're okay, making sure that they know that my open door policy is actually an open door policy. And my current employees do know this, because my door is hardly ever closed. It's always open to them. And so I always like to support them in whatever it is that they need. And they know that if they have any questions or if they need advice on anything in life and on the job, they come to me for that. So I am a supporter and I am an analyzer on the job. And so one of the ways that I wanted to tie this in together, it was to give you an example of how the personality, the temperament, and the communication styles actually mesh, okay? So in video 1, I told you that I am an introvert, okay, right? I am naturally an introvert. So I focus more on my own thoughts, and I'm more energized by being alone. So being a supervisor sometimes can be overwhelming for me because I don't like to do a lot of talking. I like to do a lot of listening. But as a supervisor, and the type of supervisor that I am, forces me to have to brief senior management, to brief my employees, to brief the employees in the office. And so I do a lot of public speaking, even though I'm naturally an introvert, okay? So number one, my personality trait is an introvert, but then my temperament types, as I discussed in the last video, are melancholy and phlegmatic. So I'm a deep thinker, I'm introspective, I'm not easily offended, I maintain my composure, and I'm thoughtful and deliberate. And then for my particular communication styles, I'm the analyzer and the supporter. So I love facts and details, I love being organized, I love supporting my employees and using my interpersonal skills to my advantage. So now, if you look at all that, you see how all of that matches. From my personality trait all the way down to my communication style, it shows me how I am as a leader and how I can be better as a leader, right? So where I'm more internal, my job forces me to be external. Well, now I get a chance to relate more to my employees and to the employees in the office versus just being to myself. And so that part allows me to expand my communication skills so that I'm not just particularly one-sided, right? And so it's the same thing for you when you discover, okay, this is my particular personality trait. I'm more of an ambivert. So because I'm more of an ambivert, I might have more of a sanguine and choleric temperament type. And then because of that, I might be more of a controller and a promoter. Right? And so when you figure out what it is that you are better suited to be able to communicate that to your employees. So one of the things I like to do when I have a new employee come to my section and I sit down with them for our first employee supervisor meeting, I like to ask them, what's your communication style? It's one of the first things I ask them. And I ask them that because I want to know how I, as a leader, can ensure that I'm communicating with them properly. And then once they tell me their communication style, then I tell them, oh, this is how I am. You know, I'm not a micromanager. I'm not going to be standing over your shoulder, but I do, let you know that I have an open door policy. I am going to be coming to check on you. I am going to be following up with you to ensure that the work is getting done. I'm open for any questions and any dialogue. And when I set those guidelines with them at the beginning, they automatically know this is the type of leader that I'm getting. So they don't have any qualms with, okay, when I first met her, she was this way. And now that we've communicated for a little while, she done went Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde on me. Like now, before where she used to be calm, cool, and collected, now she's got these horns coming out of her head. Why? So it doesn't throw anybody off. When you set the expectation from the jump as a leader that this is how I communicate, this is who I am, and this is how I will be communicating with you, now let me know how you will communicate with me. I had a team meeting not too long ago. Well, I have them every week, but I had a team meeting not too long ago, maybe about a month ago, where we sat down as a team and I asked them, how can I communicate with you better? I have a really great team right now. And so one of the things that I always want to ensure is that we're in a good place communication-wise. And so I asked them, how can I communicate with you better? And they'll say, oh, Lamika, you can follow up with me more here, or you can send me an email instead of coming to my desk, or, you can whatever. And so they turned around, and I was pleased, they turned around and asked me the same thing. Well, how can we communicate with you better, Lamika? And I said, oh, well, you know what? I'm more of an introverted type person, so you can come to my office and let me know what your issue is, or you can send me an email and I'll respond back to you right away. So once we were able to figure out, this is how I communicate as your leader, this is how you communicate as my employee, my team has never been better. And so I beseech you to do the same thing. Discover what your personality trait is, what your temperament types are, and then what your communication style is. Merge them together, and that is at the core of who you are as far as your communication as a supervisor. So as usual, I will leave a link below for you for the quiz that you can take that will help you figure out what your communication style is. And I hope this particular part of the series on developing your communication style as a leader was helpful to you. We will be moving on to our next installment, which I will introduce in our next video. But thank you so much for bearing with me for these 3 and starting out with the leadership series for new supervisors. Please follow me on Janae Sante LLC on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can also go to my website as well, www.janaesante.com. And so thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video.